For nearly 30 years, the Hellman Fellows program has advanced the careers of promising junior faculty through research fellowships. Thanks to the generosity of donors, Berkeley is now able to fund these fellowships through endowed funds. The goal is to help these ambitious professors shine at Berkeley, while providing a bridge to tenure for them at a crucial point in their careers, and helping them become permanent fixtures among campus faculty.
I had become interested in the years between the end of the First World War and the decades that followed the end of the Second World War. I was especially intrigued about this historical time frame because I'd come to realize that artists across the world, intellectuals as well, philosophers, writers, were galvanized by this period which saw the rise of fascism and Nazism in Europe. But in the rest of the world, it also saw the ending years of colonialism, especially in Asia and Africa. This is a period that hadn't really been written about in any substantial way, at least not in my own field. I found, or rather very quickly realized as I was preparing my book to send to the publishers, many of the photographs that I'd taken were quite unusable. Yet I'm an art historian. My argument is based on the image. So it was quite important and imperative for me to go back to many of my sites to actually reshoot the photographs. In my case, this process was also complicated by the fact that 90% of the illustrations that I reproduce in my book have never been published before. Without support from Hellman, I would have never been able to revisit so many different archives in different countries and different cities to actually get what I need.
So the question that we're trying to answer at a big picture level is, what is most of the matter in our universe? Dark matter is the majority of the matter in our universe. And one of our best guesses for what dark matter might be is this hypothetical particle that's called the axion. The project that I proposed was to compute its mass. And these computations are non-trivial. They require supercomputers, and the Hellman Fellowship helped me with the resources in order to carry out these calculations. This fellowship allowed us to perform the highest resolution simulations of these so-called axion strings that have ever been performed, and to understand them at a level that was really unprecedented. And this allowed us to go on and make the most precise calculation to date of what the mass of this hypothetical particle might be. The Hellman Fellows Award came for me in a crucial period where I was ending my assistant professor term. I was about to go up for associate professor, and I'd used up a lot of my startup funds. The Hellman Fellowship served to bridge a crucial gap in funding.
Hellman Fellowships also benefit the next generation of research talent by enabling faculty to hire undergraduate, graduate, and postdoctoral students to work on their Hellman research projects.
So I run a very interdisciplinary lab. We work kind of across environmental engineering, applied microbiology, and public health. My lab works a lot internationally, and this project allowed us to launch a project locally in the Central Valley. So our Hellman project is motivated by the problem of antibiotic resistance, and our goal was to really uncover whether or not concentrated animal feeding operations, which tend to use a lot of antibiotics, are a risk factor for communities living near these operations. And we're really interested in what are the different environmental exposure pathways that might be a risk for getting exposed to antibiotic resistant bacteria. So some of the pathways that we were looking at were air, water, and soil. So our Hellman project really engaged our whole lab. We had undergrads working on the project, postdocs, graduate students. It was really kind of a bonding experience for our lab. It's actually really hard to obtain funding when you're early career faculty. And one of the reasons for that is because you're doing all of these things for the first time. You're teaching classes for the first time. You're recruiting students and building up a lab. And so having some funding to really launch your research portfolio is really important and critical for success.
Since its inception, the Hellman Fellows has provided over $130 million in support to over 2,000 budding faculty across all 10 UC campuses, including nearly 500 at Berkeley. 94% of Berkeley's Hellman Fellows have earned tenure,